Welcome to the first ever episode of our new podcast. This is called Rock Ave Homers. You've got me, I'm Crazy, also known as Nick, and
Lawrence, also known as LHD.
We're going to be doing this podcast weekly during the season. Might not see another one until the first week of the season, but we're going to be trying to do this weekly during the season, kind of talk about what's going on. For this episode, we have a couple of guests who may chime in here and there.
Every now and then.
I live here. I'm not a guest. What the hell?
You've got Courtney there who lives here. She's not a guest, but she's
Right.
she's a guest for the podcast as often as she wants to be.
Like that.
She got her own show.
Yeah, she does have her own
She
show.
does have her own show. I'm jealous.
You can be on the show too.
And then we've got
Tim, also known as Kill Slash 1080.
who knows nothing about baseball.
Absolutely jack shit.
So his input will be more questioning than anything else. So just to jump in really quick, the reason we're calling it Rock Ave Homers is
Rock abs?
Rock
Rock
Ave.
Ave, not plural.
Rock Ave.
Oh, Rock Ave. Okay.
Rock Ave is where the stadium, not stadium, but the field was that we used to play baseball on for Little League. So it's kind of sentimental in a way. And then homers being a baseball term, you can kind of consider me and L homers sometime for our teams.
Most of the time.
Me being a Yankee fan, him being a Mets fan.
Get the best of both worlds, baby.
But so that's where the name comes from. We are watching the World Baseball Classic as we record this.
My boy Adam Jones is up. My man's. Baltimore Orioles.
So L wanted to start this for a specific reason. I don't know why, but he wanted to start this.
Alright, so pretty much Crazy says something about Andrew McCutchen. Now, as a Mets fan, and obviously as a Yankee fan, we haven't really seen much of the Pirates. But
I've seen him play in person.
you've seen him play in person, yes. My thing is, he's a great player. Can hit, can run, can field, hit for power, hit for average. Awesome. My thing is, he's never going to get anywhere staying on the Pirates.
Agreed.
But my thing is, he's getting older. How old? I don't know how old. I think he's like 31, 32. I know he's a couple years older than us.
I think he's 31, but he had the worst year of his career last year.
That's where I'm a little concerned.
So, Andrew McCutchen, I believe this year is going to be a bounce back year. I don't know how many more great years he has in him. So the Pirates, on one hand, they have a decent young core. They've got Garrett Cole,
Who's a stud?
great pitcher.
Freaking stud.
They've got, what's that outfielder's name?
Jesus Christ, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of his name. Starling. No.
Starling Marte.
Starling Marte, there you go.
He is phenomenal.
And they got the other kid, the other black guy. Josh Donaldson? No?
No, Donaldson's the Blue Jays, and he's white.
That's Blue Jays and he's white. That's totally not where I was going with that. Who's the other? I swear his name starts with a J, like Josh or something. I can't remember the guy's name. But they have him, who's pretty dope. You got something to say, Kill Slash?
No. I'm good.
Sure about that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Baseball is a game where a guy has stick, hit ball, and run. Right?
Essentially, that's what it is.
That's what it is, right? That's cool.
I don't even know if they use metal bats or wooden bats. They use all wooden bats, right? No metal.
Wooden, yes.
If they use metal bats in the major leagues, I think they will have about like 14 homicides within the first 3 innings.
Why?
Josh Bell?
Isabel.
Josh Harrison.
There you go, Josh Harrison. There you go.
Okay.
So, that outfit was pretty sweet. But, like I said, McCutchen staying on that team he is not going to win nothing.
He will get to the playoffs as a wild card team a couple years, but I don't think
both.
But the problem is the Cubs are stacked for years to come.
We both.
And at that NL Central, the Cubs are stacked for years to come, and the Cardinals always find a way to come back and compete.
Don't mention the Cardinals around me.
So
I hate the Cardinals.
So
I remember is 2006. All I remember is
Why
2006.
do you hate the Cardinals?
Adam Wainwright, number 1. Yadier Molina, number 2.
Yeah.
Freaking destroyed us in 2006. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, the Mets were, how can I say, that close to the World Series that year. Arguably the best team in the National League. Arguably. And we just got absolutely shut down by the Cardinals pitching. And out of nowhere, Yadier Molina hit like 4 home runs that whole year. Comes out of nowhere.
That was his coming out party as a hitter.
And
he was a decent hitter, but he was not a power hitter.
He was a decent hitter. He was not right, but that year, 2006, cursed the Mets for like the past 8 years after that.
Your ownership cursed the Mets.
After 2006, 2007, I want to forget. 2008, let's not talk about 2008.
So your team, the problem with your team was they tried to compete money-wise with the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, and then they realized they don't have any money.
Oh, hold up. This is going to be good. I just thought about something. A recent signee that we did, you know who I'm talking about. My boy, my favorite player, the one player that I like the most, who decided that he can't cap it in football.
Debo!
All right. Before you go any further on your,
I want to hear this rant about Tim Tebow.
We'll let him rant on Tim Tebow, but before you go any further, so the other day I said to Courtney something about I was thinking about getting you a Jason Bay jersey because I knew it would hurt your feelings.
No, we are not doing that.
So-
I know exactly
so-
what you're gonna say.
So I said that because I said I knew it would hurt your feelings and it would be a funny joke. So I said that, and Courtney said, I thought you were going to get him a Tim Tebow jersey. And I said, oh my God, that might be worse. But no, it wouldn't. Jason Bay hurts your feelings more than Tim Tebow.
You know I'm not saying that, right?
I told him we're not getting it after I said it.
But you said it. You brought it up.
Yes, and then I regretted it after I said it. I'm like, no.
You set the idea in
Can
my
you
mind.
imagine if Tim Tebow, the next few spring games, starts going on a hitting streak?
He's not going to because he can't hit major league pitchers. Anybody who throws him anything other than a fastball, he can't hit. Any type of speed on a fastball, he can't hit.
But you want to know the ironic part? I told you about this. It was on ESPN. You know who his next door neighbor is. I told you this. Daniel Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
And Murphy's instructing him on how to hit. I'm kind of scared. Murphy can hit.
You don't have anything to worry about with Tim Tebow. He's not doing anything. Right now, he's just stealing at-bats from your minor leaguers. That's all he's doing right now. He's stealing at-bats from people who deserve it.
At the same time, what if he... All right, and there's another point I want to make too, but I'll get to that in a second. But what if he does, kick in? Because I think the Mets are actually counting on him to make it to the majors. For that reason. Money.
Tim Tebow?
Can you imagine? Yes, can you imagine if he actually
You would sell
does?
out a lot of games that you wouldn't sell out normally. If people thought he was going to start, you would sell out.
If he made it to the major leagues, they'll have fucking Bible study after every fucking game. I swear to God.
Did you hear about the stalker that got arrested for stalking
She
him?
was ugly. Tim Tebow, I see you plays the baseballs. I'm glad you moved down here so I'm closer to you.
She had the
This one was wrong.
so so the cops asked her, what type of relationship she had. Was it platonic? Was it what type of relationship was it? And they named like 3 different things, and the last one was a marriage. And she said all of the above. Hee.
Well, you got to understand one thing. Where are they at? They're in Florida, correct?
She came from Denver.
I know, but I'm saying he's big in Florida, obviously.
Yeah.
It's just funny to me. like he's. I understand he's a superstar. This guy, I still don't understand why he's so popular. They made a big deal about him because he had one good season in the NFL, in my opinion. He went to the Jets. Obviously, I don't know why he likes New York. I don't know why he likes to rotate in New York. They made a press conference for this guy. He's a backup quarterback.
Yep.
Seriously? So, my thing is, I hate to make this comparison, but I want to bring it to your attention. It kind of kills me. Tebow, Jordan. Who's going to have the better career in baseball?
Jordan hit like 4 home runs though, didn't he?
Honestly, I don't remember. I don't even.
Hold on.
Honestly, I don't
Keep
know
talking.
how far.
I got
I
the
don't know how
stats here.
far Jordan got.
Well, he hit
But
4.
it's-
I think he hit for AAA Birmingham. He played for AAA Birmingham for the White Sox, and I think he hit 4 minor league home runs.
But my thing is, like,
say.
I hate to compare the two, but they're similar. Jordan dominated basketball. Tebow dominated college football. So they both have a passion for baseball, which is weird. Jordan was the greatest of all time.
It's a jump.
It is a
Where they
jump.
were.
But my thing is, like,
He had 11 errors.
he had 11 errors. Right. But it just shows how popularity and possibly money can play a factor in that. Like, why would you sign
Damn.
Tim Tebow?
3. I was off by 1. He
Okay,
had
you're
3 home
close,
runs.
3. But why would you sign Tim Tebow?
Because publicity stunt.
Yes, but you're the New York Mets. You have so much distraction with the Wilpons, with everything else. Why Tim Tebow?
Because, like you said, they want him to make the majors so they can use him to sell tickets. Because you guys, since you opened Citi Field, have not sold out very many games. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Yankees are in the same position. They're not selling out a lot of games either. But the Yankees also, you know, their ticket prices are higher, so the tickets they do sell, you know, I mean, it's like $1,200 for a field level ticket.
Which is ridiculous. I mean, like,
so
Well, we
Me-
go to San Diego.
with- me and Courtney-
$50 field tickets.
me and
so-
Courtney went to San Diego for our honeymoon, and we went to a Padres game while we were there. So Padres Cubs, we got to see the future World Series champions, and it was great. But so tickets that at Yankee Stadium would be $1,200 were $82 at the at Petco Park. $82 for what at Yankee Stadium would be $1,200.
And that's before you get like food and drink.
Yeah, I mean the food and drink are all the same price
well, that's-
everywhere.
That's what I was
That's
about to
everywhere.
say.
It's the same price for at a sporting event. But the tickets
$1,200
themselves,
versus $82.
it's ridiculous. I mean, the $82 tickets were sold out when we were there, so we got the next field level tickets, which were $52. $52. It's insane. And I'm sitting there thinking, all right, we got to swing $82, whatever. And then it was like $52 a piece. We can do that, no problem.
That's awesome.
But you go to Yankee Stadium, it's like, all right, so we're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to figure this out money wise, or what we've done the past couple years that we went to Yankee games. We joined their fan club because you get free tickets for you get 2
Right.
tickets for joining their fan club, 2 of the $600 tickets,
Right.
and that's only $300 the fan club.
I like that.
It's a
that's-
great deal, but at the same time, it's like that's what you have to do to
You
get
have to do it.
to
Yeah,
get
you can't
affordable
do-
Yankee tickets.
You can't do single season tickets like you used to. But honestly, that's been a problem for New York since hell. How long?
Long
Oof,
time.
Yeah, a long time.
I mean,
Expensive.
the one thing I will say is, and we were talking about it the other day because Courtney wants to go to a game this year. Yankee tickets you can get cheap Yankee tickets, but those $10 tickets for a Yankee game are nosebleeds.
I mean, look,
They're not bleachers. Bleachers are like $20, $30, maybe even more.
right.
Oh, that's right. Bleachers are more than nosebleeds.
Nosebleeds are like $10, $5. You
know
can
the
get
one
deals
thing-
for $5.
The one thing about nosebleeds I kind of like is that you can get them cheap, and then maybe the 8th inning, the 9th, and you can go down. You can move down a little.
Yankee Stadium.
The Yankee Stadium, they don't do that in
Yankee Stadium,
Citi
they don't
Field.
let you do that.
Me and my dad tried to do it in Citi Field. They weren't having it. So
yeah, Yankee Stadium won't let that slide. The only time Yankee Stadium let that slide was when me and my brother went to the game that got rain delayed, and we weren't far, but they let us move up because of the rain delay. I mean,
Right.
we stayed. The game ended. The game ended like 2:00 in the morning.
I remember
We
you
were
told
there,
me,
we
right.
got home at 3. We got home at 3:00 in the morning after that game, and I mean we had gotten there because we had gone to a fan event before the game, and so we had gotten there like 2:00 in the afternoon, and we were there till 2:00 in the morning.
That's awesome, man.
And you know they at that point they're not bitching at anybody about moving seats,
True.
you know, because they're just happy people stayed.
Can you imagine that? I'm just glad they built the retractable roof in Miami.
Yeah.
That's one of the smartest things they ever did. Besides making Ozzie Guillen their manager, but that's another story.
Well, we wanted to kind of focus on at least this week. We want to kind of focus on Yankees Mets.
Yes, sir.
And we've gotten a decent amount out of the Mets history for you. And one more thing before we jump to this year and what we're thinking, what our teams look like. So I mentioned the Jason Bay jersey and why that would hurt you personally. Do you want to go in? Do you want to elaborate on how you feel about Jason Bay?
Yeah, sure. Fuck Jason Bay.
So Jason Bay was one of the worst things the Mets ever did. He
One. Excuse me. Sorry.
he was not a good signing. He was not. I mean, he got paid a lot of money to do nothing, and I mean, what was it like? I can't remember. I made a meme out of it and sent it to you on Twitter once a few years back. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I figured out the math of how much money he got paid to strike out. And it was a ridiculous amount of money. So, you know, there's that.
How do you go from being a hero in Boston? What did he have, like 44 home runs? He raked in Boston.
And he was the Pirates. He was the Pirates. He was the Pirate star.
He was the Pirate star, raked in Boston. We saw the potential in that guy. Omar? Was that an Omar signing?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken?
Omar Minaya.
Okay. Omar signed him thinking, oh, yeah, he's going to take us to the top.
Denied.
I think he played, what? A total, 3-4 years with us? I'm exaggerating.
It was a 4-year contract. He played 3 of the 4 years because 1 year he was injured, right? One year he missed like an entire year.
Okay, that sounds about right. And he struck out more than he hit home runs, if I'm not
No, he struck out more than he got hits.
Hits, yeah. But that too.
Oh my god. Even I know that's bad.
It's very bad. It's very bad. And I was upset.
Yep.
Very upset. Not happy. And suffered. Every day I would watch them.
Aw.
Every day I would watch them. Jason Bay comes up. Well, we already know what's gonna happen here.
You knew that, and you know you had no problem throwing it in my face, the A-Rod thing. So you know,
I mean, the A-Rod,
as I like to call him, you know, during the latter years of his playing career, double play Rod.
double play Rod.
Anytime
absolutely.
he came up with a runner on first, it was a double play. Anytime he came up with nobody on, it was a strikeout. For a couple years, you know, that was what it was.
Well-
2009 was the exception. And then, like,
Oh, yeah.
2010 to 2012, that was him. Especially in the playoffs.
I mean, yeah. As we're watching the World Baseball Classic,
Who hit that?
that looked like, I can't tell who that was, but Jose Reyes just scored. I don't know who that is. Oh, I think that's the catcher from the Cubs.
Okay.
But it hurts. It hurts to see that. We both had up and down years, but y'all, ironically, I hate to say it, I'm a Mets fan, obviously. I can't stand the Yankees. Y'all spin, and I'm jealous. This is the
You
jealous.
tried spending.
This is the jealous.
You
Mets
guys
fan.
tried spending.
Yeah, we
But
don't
you
have
spent it
to
the
like
wrong
y'all.
way. But that's the thing. You guys made too many mistakes with your spending. Don't get me wrong. We've made mistakes. I mean, you know, A-Rod, he got us one World Series. What else did he get us? Giambi didn't get us shit. You know, who else did we pay a ton of money to that never got us anything? You know, Pavano, one of the worst signings in the history of baseball. Keigawa.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
That was the Japanese pitcher that we signed after the Red Sox signed.
Right.
So
let's not talk about Japanese players. Let's not do that.
So we've had a lot of bad signings, and I mean right now we're suffering with Jacoby Ellsbury in center field. You know, he had a career year. Had a career year, then we signed him and he's a bum.
Hey, that sounds like Jason Bay. Excuse me. Sorry.
But the thing is, Ellsbury still has the potential to be that player, but he swings to pull the ball every fucking time. He swings to pull the ball every time he's at the bat.
You know what I thought
if he was swinging to take the ball the other way, to go where the pitcher throws him, he would be so much better. But no, he sees that short porch and right, and he swings to pull.
And that's another problem I have with a lot of these players. Strictly left-handed hitters. Like, guys, come on. You know how many times, I think it was David Ortiz, they put the shift on for him? It kills me. When they put the shift on for David Ortiz, I have a question for you. When they do that, you see the left side of the infield wide open, third base. You get a mere, 91, 92 mile per hour fastball on the outside corner. Do you bunt to the third base side?
Not necessarily, but I wait and I take my swing to the point where it's going to be late on the ball, so it goes down the third base line. You know, most of these guys haven't bunted in years, so I don't blame them for not bunting. Although, if they're getting shifted every time they go up to bat, they should learn how to bunt. They should practice. But I don't fault them because they don't do it. They haven't done it in years. But at the same time, they have very good bat control. You know, most of these guys, when you hit a home run, that means you generally have okay bat control.
Yeah.
If you have the ability to hit a home run, you can swing the bat pretty okay. So, if they have decent bat control, they can wait just a half a second longer and just tap the ball down, check swing it. Check swing it down the third base line.
You know, that's fundamentals.
That's what I'm saying.
These guys getting paid millions of dollars to hit the ball out the ballpark.
I like Mark Teixeira.
Mark Teixeira is by far
a great defensive first baseman, and he was a phenomenal hitter before he came to the Yankees.
One of the best.
When he came to the Yankees,
one of my favorite hitters this year. What the fuck is your friend listening to in the bathroom? But anyway, not to get off topic.
So when Mark Teixeira came to the Yankees, he saw that short right field porch, and he stopped hitting the ball the other way. One of the things that he was great at doing was opposite field gap.
But do you give him credit that he's a switch hitter? I mean, you can argue that. That's probably why.
But if you watch him hit, he swings for the fences. I mean, he swings to pull the ball both ways.
Yes.
And it's just frustrating because, just do what you used to do. You showed you can do it. You showed you can do it for half of your career.
Right.
Why'd you stop? Because you feel like you can hit more home runs if you just keep swinging for fences?
No, why not? I mean, I agree with you.
I'm sorry. Don't get me wrong. If somebody hits 20 home runs and hits 350, I feel like that's more important than somebody hitting 250 and hits 35 home runs.
I agree.
I mean, you're adding 15 more runs at least, if not more, if there's people on base. But how many more times are you making outs? How many more times are you not giving the person behind you the chance?
Yeah, it's higher percentage. So that's like saying, who would you rather have at crunch time? Would you rather have? Here you go. I'm about to throw this one out there. Who would you rather have in his prime? Two of the best hitters that are still in the game. Cabrera or Pujols? Who do you think crunch time?
Pujols.
I'm going with Pujols too.
Don't get me wrong, Cabrera. They both proved they could do it in the World Series. They both, or not World Series, but they both proved they could do it in the playoffs.
Right.
I mean, Pujols against the Astros, that was
something that
That was
was out of this
amazing.
world. Yeah.
And Cabrera against the Yankees.
That's out of this world as well.
But I feel like in his prime, Pujols was a better clutch hitter. Cabrera does a great job of hitting to all fields, but Cabrera also in clutch situations. Not saying he's a bad clutch hitter because he does hit in the clutch,
Cabrera's good.
but he swings for the fences in the clutch.
Yeah, I
Whereas
mean-
Pujols in the clutch back in the day would do whatever the pitcher would do what he needed with what the pitcher gave
See,
him.
the problem was, in my opinion, you look at batting average. I need to pull this up. I want to compare them. Because, like you said, I would take Pujols too. But my thing is about Cabrera. You know what? I'm going to hold up on the stats.
Well, later in his career, Cabrera has definitely become a more complete hitter.
You know what? I think if you look at them when they first came up, Pujols wasn't that big.
No.
You look at Cabrera coming up, that was a big kid.
Yeah. Honestly, Stanton reminds me a lot of him. I mean, not just physical build, but the fact that he was bigger than everybody and he was so young, and he had such raw talent. Like
Stanton is a monster.
Yeah, I mean, we were watching him in this game, and he's just too much.
Stan is a monster. I ain't gonna lie, and it's sad because y'all don't gotta see him as much as we do. That's the sad part. And one thing about the NL
But
East,
we got to see Mookie Betts and Xander Bogaerts, and we got to see Joey Bats. Although we don't have to see Encarnacion anymore.
I'd rather see them than Bryce Harper and what's his face and their ace. Oh god, I can't think of his name right now. Strasburg.
He's not their ace anymore.
Shoot, when he pitches against us.
Scherzer's their
Yeah,
ace.
look, anybody that faces the Mets is somewhat of an ace.
I mean, you guys, if your pitchers stayed healthy, you guys would have the best rotation in baseball.
You think we got it against Because honestly, on paper, I still think the Nationals have one of the best rotations in baseball.
See, the problem is Gio hasn't pitched up to his.
Man, that's my dog. Man.
I
don't
know, but he hasn't pitched up to his potential the last couple of years. Strasburg hasn't pitched up to his potential the last couple of
Injuries.
years. And that's the problem with paper. Everybody says paper. Like I said, without injuries, your Mets would have the best rotation in baseball.
True.
It's really hard to judge that. One of the best young rotations in baseball right now is the Colorado Rockies.
Rockies have an up and coming
rotation.
rotation.
I mean, and I feel so bad for all those pitchers because they are all going to have inflated ERAs.
And
from
honestly,
pitching in Colorado.
I think the Rockies have one of the best hitting. Was he play shortstop? Story.
Oh yeah,
he is I don't know what got into him last year. He started tearing it up, and it's funny. That's the second shortstop they have in their system. That's just weird, but
that's why they were so willing to give up Tulowitzki.
I see.
That's why they were so willing to give him up. I mean, they had Story coming up, and I mean, and that's the thing. They're set to be okay, the Rockies, because they still got Cargo, and they got these young pitchers that are just really, really interesting.
Do you keep Cargo?
If they're above 500 at the trade deadline, yes. If they're below 500, you trade them, you get something for them. You try to get pitching for them.
Can he be that fine tool player that he was? Because I seen he can hit, but I think age is going to catch up to him, and it's
not
gonna
that
be
old
over.
though.
I mean, he's not, but you can kind of see it.
He's got some stuff to he's got a lot to. Ooh, Robertson just got Cano looking.
Look at the Dominicans. They're like, "Que lo que?" I say what the. Oh, that was Mexican. Que lo que, bro? What's up with that? So that's I don't know, G. It is what it is. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it's whatever. But I say trade him.
I mean,
say trade him.
wait until the trade
Let
deadline.
him go to a contender.
Wait until the trade deadline.
Let him go to the contender.
Can you not trade the red? Nope.
So I just don't. I don't think that they should trade him unless they are out of it. If they can compete, you know how it is with it. Not every year is like last year with the Cubs where they are the best team. Sometimes the team gets hot.
I got another question. This is referring to my situation and my team. I want to know what you think. The Mets have a crowded outfield. We have Bruce. Obviously, Cespedes ain't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
The Grandy Man, Conforto, and Longaris. What do we do?
Make Bruce learn how to play first base?
See, that's my problem. I don't want to do that because 2 reasons. We have a up-and-coming young stud named Dominic Smith. They say he's not that far away from the majors. I think he's going to be a big-time player.
Make Bruce learn how to play first base, and then once this kid is ready, you leave Bruce out on the trade market, and you see if you can get pitching for him.
So what happens to Lucas Duda?
Are they both righties? Are they both lefties?
Duda, I know Duda bats lefty.
I think Bruce is a righty, isn't he? Platoon him. Make him learn first base and platoon the 2 of them.
I guess, but
My whole thing is Bruce
who do you have
has...
in right field, though?
You got...
Do you put Granderson in right field?
Probably. Granderson can't play center anymore. He can't play center anymore. You got two decent, kids that can probably play center there. I mean, you can't, you got Cespedes in left. I wouldn't put Bruce in your outfield. He's not a good enough defensive player. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, he hits, but he's also one of those guys who just strikes out way too much.
He can't hit in New York.
A lot of people can't hit in New York. So, I mean, but you got to take that chance. Make him learn first base. Platoon him and Duda. And then, if that kid is ready, let him take both their jobs. Honestly.
I mean, yeah, but I'm not going to lie. We have Jose Reyes at third, yes. I think the Mets need more speed. Longaris in center. Cespedes in left. Right field is where I'm confused at.
Grandy has more speed than Bruce.
Yeah. But
Grandy still can hit. I mean, he's a slow starter.
Oh, we both know that, yes.
But once he gets started, he can still hit. So you're not going to bench him. You're not going to do anything with him. Unfortunately, for your other young outfielder. But, it's a matter of Bruce is going to be the one that doesn't get it. It's just he's not gonna survive that outfield. Although that's what I think. At the same time, your Mets are probably going to go in with Grandy in center and Bruce in right, and have one of the kids as a fourth outfielder and the other one, I don't know.
Absolutely.
That's what your Mets are going to do, but I think that they should make Bruce learn first base.
I agree too. But my thing is, if they let that happen, what do we do with Lucas Duda?
Platoon him until that kid is ready. Platoon the 2 of them. And then, the whole time you're doing that, hold them out there on the trade market. Hope that one of them gets hot so somebody will make you a good offer.
Who's going to want Lucas Duda, who's been injury prone for the past 2 seasons?
If he's platooning, he doesn't have as much chance to get hurt.
Nobody wants him. Would you take him? Would the Yankees take him?
No.
Exactly my point.
Because we got Greg Bird. We got, Ref Snyder can play first. We got Chris Carter. We don't need a first baseman. Even if one of them gets hurt, we don't need a first baseman.
No doubt.
So here's my thing to you. Say the Yankees the Yankees have Rob Refsnyder on the market. They're dangling him out there. Now he's a utility player who can play multiple positions, and probably a better hitter than a couple of your infielders. What would you give the Yankees for Rob Refsnyder? Because the Yankees are only going to take pitching, honestly. You know that.
We can do two things, which I'm willing to do. Obviously, Syndergaard's untouchable.
No, I wouldn't ask for that much for Ref Snyder. Don't get me wrong. I like Ref Snyder as a player, but he is not worth a number 1, 2, 3 starter. He's probably probably worth a number 5 starter, honestly.
So
or a reliever.
So I'll go. You're probably not gonna like this, but I'll go. Harvey.
I'd take Harvey for Ref Snyder straight up.
I didn't say straight up. Hold up now, I didn't say straight up.
Are you gonna throw in another contract for us to eat, or are you asking for more?
I think you kind of know where I'm kind of going with this. Somebody that you said is gonna be good, but they was injury prone and they can't throw. So I would throw Harvey and I would throw Darno in there.
I mean, I'd still take that trade. I thought you were gonna ask for more. I
don't want to ask for more. No. What position does he play?
What? Ref Snyder?
Yeah.
First, second, third, right field, left field.
What's his prime position?
Second at right field. He played right field for a long time. And I think he played right field in college, but he is like second base was his main position growing up.
So I got Harvey.
So here's the deal. How about this? Ref Snyder for Harvey. And who's your catcher right now? Is it just Darno?
Darno, and I got Rene Rivera.
So, how about this? Ref Snyder and Kyle Hishigo, I can't remember his name right now, his last name. But he's the catcher that's putting the fear of God into Austin Romine right now for the backup job.
Oh boy.
So, Ref Snyder and him for Darno and Harvey.
Straight up.
Straight up, I take it.
I'll take it too.
Because Darno will eat that contract. Harvey will beat out. Harvey
could probably be y'all number 1.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. He could probably dominate the American League.
I don't know, because since his injury, he hasn't seen the same.
See, this is the problem. I'm a big Matt Harvey fan. What I don't like about New York, they downplayed their players when they're not playing well. You got to understand, Matt Harvey, you guys were praising him. I think it was, 2012, 2013 when he made the All-Star game? You guys were praising him.
Yeah.
Praising him. All right, he gets hurt, whatever, so what? He's bouncing back from injury. You got to kill him.
No.
Y'all don't want him no more. They want him traded. Like that. What type of crap is that?
My whole thing with Matt Harvey is he hasn't, like, I know he's still recovering from injury, but he hasn't looked like his old self anywhere near it yet. And that's what scares me. Now, mind you, I would still take that trade for him for Ref Snyder straight up. I would take that trade in a heartbeat because I feel like he can beat out a Severino or a Mitchell for a number 4 spot. And realistically, and that's only because the Yankees are only putting 2 spots up for grabs.
See, my
I think he could definitely be our number 2 starter because Tanaka's our number 1 starter.
Well, obviously.
I think Harvey could be our number 2 if he's half of what he was. Because Sabathia, although Sabathia seems like he finally learned how to pitch with low velocity, and he seems like he's doing all right now.
And sober.
Yeah, even though all that, I still think Harvey would be a better pitcher than him. And Mr. Pine Tar himself, who has a guaranteed spot in our rotation, even though I don't believe he deserves it. I don't know. I think the Yankees are. I think the Yankees need one more starter, one more name starter, one more number 1, number 2, number 3 type. Because we've got Tanaka, who's a number 1 type. We've got Sabathia, who at this point is probably a number 3, number 4 type. We've got Pineda, who has the ability to be a number 1, but he's Pine Tar Man in everybody's mind now. Then you've got Severino, who looks good and then looks terrible. Looks good and then looks terrible. You got Brian Mitchell, who I think is going to be good, and I think he has the ability to be a number 3 starter at the highest. And I think those are the 2 that are going to break camp as our 4 and 5 starters, is Severino and Mitchell.
True.
But I mean, that's not a rotation I'm happy with right now.
Well, like you said,
I mean, don't get me
right
wrong.
now,
The Yankees have Justice Sheffield. They have James Caprielian. They have Luis Sessa. They have Chad Green. They have Chance Adams. They have all these young pitchers that are close. They're not there yet, but they're close. So these kids need to take those jobs. That's all I'm saying. But they're not ready yet, and they will in the future, but not at the beginning of 2017.
beast. I'm telling you, the next 2-3 years, y'all gonna be.
Not this year.
y'all gonna
Not
be
next
some
year.
Superstars.
2
some
years.
Divas.
2 years.
I'm telling you. And Gary gonna be right in the middle of all that.
I think he's our franchise, honestly. But as much as I say that, I think he's our franchise. But I think that we have the makings of another core four type of thing. Because I think we got Gary, I think we got Gleyber Torres, I think we got Greg Bird, and I think we got Clint Frazier. Those are the four Yankees of the future. Don't get me wrong. I like Judge. I just don't know that. I don't know that he's gonna last.
Give him faith. Have some faith.
I don't know that he's. I like him and I like his power, but I just keep getting scared and I just keep thinking, Adam Dunn. That's what I think of when I see Judge swing sometimes.
That's tough.
It's scary.
That's scary.
You
don't want an Adam Dunn type player. Oh no! Don't do that to me.
I mean, he's a good player. He's a good outfielder, but he just reminds me of Adam Dunn with the swing sometimes. Whereas he just swings through the ball, and it's scary because it's like if he makes contact, it's gonna be it's
over.
I mean, he's got Stanton power. He's got Giancarlo Stanton power, but he just doesn't have Giancarlo Stanton contact.
That's scary, man. That really is scary. I mean, look, give the kid time. Give him time. He'll develop. He'll be all right. I'm just hoping that we try to platoon what we have and go a little bit further, because us trying to go deep in the playoffs is going to be a problem if we're facing the Cardinals or the Cubs.
You got no shot against the Cubs.
The Cubs, I mean,
even if you guys were to get hot, you got no shot against the team.
I mean, they said that in 2015, and look what happened.
You got no shot against it. Now that the Cubs are more battle tested, you got no shot against the Cubs. You got no shot against that team.
You think if we held on to Murphy, it would be a different story?
No, it doesn't matter. You don't have a shot against the Cubs because the Cubs have hitters that are good enough to hit your pitching. You don't have hitters that are good enough to hit the Cubs pitching other than one or two. And you don't have a speed game. You were just saying it earlier. You need more speed. You don't have enough speed to play a small ball game against the Cubs.
We don't have enough speed. That's the sad part. We really don't have enough speed. That's why I said if we got Jose, obviously we got Lagares, but I think we still need that one more speed threat. We ain't getting it from Asdrubal Cabrera. We ain't getting it from Neil Walker.
Nope.
Cespedes could be, but he's too much of a diva. He's too much of a superstar. Ain't gonna happen. So, I could say Granderson, but we know he lost a step or two in the past couple of years, so that ain't happening.
He's not the player he was before.
And we
That's
know.
right, Joey Bats. Get hit with the ball.
Speaking of which.
Oh, where's your phone?
It's right here.
So we're gonna end the podcast very shortly, but one of the last things that we have to do is so L happened to be followed on Twitter, and you can follow L on Twitter at you can't take an L, but he happened to be followed on Twitter by a certain at Joey Bats 19. The professional baseball player Jose Bautista from the Toronto Blue Jays, who myself and L are not very big fans of.
Not at all.
We don't think very highly of him. We don't think he does things the right way. We have some suspicions that we won't get into right now, But we don't like Jose Bautista
Hey,
very
here's
much.
one suspicion that he definitely got punched in the face. That was fucking awesome.
So we found out that he follows L on Twitter, and my thing was, do you think we could get you blocked by Joey Bats on
I
Twitter?
think we can.
So I crafted a tweet earlier, and we're going to send it right now. And for the next podcast, we'll update you on whether or not L got blocked by Jose Bautista on Twitter. But the tweet reads, @JoeyBats19 needs to stop following me with his garbage ass, needs to focus on winning and stop bat flipping.
Yo, what if he responds? I swear to God, I will laugh so hard.
So I am going to go
Put that shit on
ahead.
the internet.
I am going to go ahead and hit tweet. Your tweet was posted.
Yes, sir. Let's see what happens.
So we will. The next time we get together for this, it will probably be the opening week of the season. Some of these may be recorded with L over the phone because we're not always going to be able to get to be in the same place each week. But we are going to try to do this every week for the baseball season. Kind of, keep you up to date with what we think of what's going on, where teams are, where our teams are, and we'll go from there. But this has been the first episode of Rock Ave Homers. I'm Crazy.
I'm Mel.
I'm Kill Slash.
And we will see you next time.
Peace.
Peace out.